Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to my ECN webinar on the ECN Pro product and the site intelligence platform. I'd like to kick off with a quick introduction of myself. My name's Callum. I'm the founder of Euroclimbing News. I've been climbing for 2 decades now and working in climbing since 2014. I've been there, I've done that, I've done every role going, and I've currently settled as a team lead route setter across a London chain of climbing gyms. So I'd like to get into why I've developed ECN Pro and the site intelligence platform in particular. The climbing industry as a whole has expanded massively since Tokyo and Paris, respectively, and the climbing gyms just have no real central point for gym data, location analysis, and understanding about where to put their next gym, or understanding their competitors and the local environment. So what I've done is I've created a very thorough, comprehensive mapping product to cover the entire of continental Europe. I've mapped over 2,500 gyms, of which around 850 are fully detailed. So that's location, website, phone number. You've now got what the facilities are. Does it have a cafe, kids zone, parking? It also covers public transport and a whole host of details that go into that. So the first thing we see when we log in to ECN Pro is the landing page. At the moment, you're given a choice of the site intelligence platform and access to the last year's market report, and just a quick brief of what the site intelligence platform is capable of. But we're here for the site intelligence platform, so let's get into it. So as you become accustomed to the user interface, it's very clean and simple. There's a few options across the top, which we'll get into in a bit. Down in the bottom left, we have the key to corresponding layers and the user interface. We've got a user guide which goes through everything, just to keep it nice and simple and understandable. It's available in a few languages and it's all fully translated. Everything works flawlessly throughout these languages. Add a gym. If you have a new gym or we're missing anything, please feel free to add it, and it's usually updated within 24 hours. If you need to export a screenshot or anything like that, and to get rid of the watermark, you can use the export function up here, and this little thing we'll get to in a bit. So within the map, if I zoom into an area, let's choose Leipzig in Germany, I can already see that there's quite a few gyms within this city. If I click on a gym, go for Cosmos, straight away it shows me the gym profile and all of the locally available public transport. Within the gym profile, it will show me the facilities that are available. And the differentiator between the free version and Pro, site intelligence platform, is that down here you have this travel zone. So you have walking, cycling and driving up to 1 hour's distance from that gym. The reason I've chosen cycling is that within an urban environment, it gives the best proxy for public transport. So if I go ahead and click on cycling, it will instantly bring up this isochrone, this travel circle. It will present me in this bottom corner with demographic information and the amount of gyms within that area. So 20-minute cycle from Cosmos, you have 244,000 people. You have one other competing gym, and the target demographic audience roughly for climbing, ages 5 to 39, is 48%, so 77,000 people. If I wanted to compare competing local gyms, all I would need to do is add to comparison, and it will show me, it will give me a colored isochrone for the first gym. If I go to Onyx, add to comparison, do the same, it will then show me another overlap. And no limit, same again, add to comparison. So it shows me quite a dense overlap between these three sites. If I was a gym owner in quite a dense environment like this, I would be using all of this information to help me understand what my gym offers, which is different compared to my local competitors. Especially when there's such a tight overlap here in the center of Leipzig, you would want to know that all of the people within this area, they have quite a tough choice on which gym to go for. Moving out, if I wanted to analyze a separate location, I can just click anywhere on the map. So if I go down here in the bottom right corner of Leipzig, click on the corner, and it'll instantly show me a 20-minute isochrone for walk, cycle and driving, all the demographic information I need, and the amount of gyms that are in that area. And I can do this anywhere. So out here in Maschern or Würzburg, again, I get the location analysis pretty quick, pretty straight away. So that's the location analysis sorted. If I move up here to the layers screen, I'm presented with a list of options. So far and away the most basic is the building type. Down here we have the key to what each of those colours mean. And first and foremost, if you're looking for a location, you want to know what building types are around, how residential it is, what sort of industrial estates are available to potentially locate your gym in, or commercial sites as well. The deprivation index is for UK and Ireland only, along with the first youth population. If I go to population density, these are separated into 1 kilometre square increments, and the darker the colour, the more dense the area. And again, this is for all of continental Europe. And again, the same for youth population. So again, I've gone for 5 years to 39 years youth demographic in Europe, as that's roughly the captive audience that we want. And again, the darker the colour, the more dense of that demographic there is. With the market classification, we're going for the De Gerber urbanisation method. And again, the darker the area, the more urban the area is. So the benefit of this for a gym owner, researcher, investor, that sort of thing, is if they're targeting a gym within an area, they want to know the habits and preferences of that local population. So if they're within a city classification, they're more likely to want to use public transport. They're probably higher earners compared to their rural counterparts, and they're probably going to travel less distant. Whereas in a town or a suburb, they're more likely to be car drivers plus public transport users. Out in rural areas, they will be lower incomes, more likely to use their cars and less reliant on public transport. So a climbing gym or any leisure facility will need parking facilities. The showstopper part of the layers screen is the income intelligence, and it does get a bit messy when you zoom out further, or depending on how detailed a country's income intelligence is. This very quickly shows you how wealthy an area is. And again, the darker the colour, the higher the income median is. So this is split into 10 deciles across 10 or 11 different countries. And again, this just provides an excellent insight into what a gym provider can provide in a given area and what pricing structure they can use. If I quickly go to the UK and explain the deprivation side of things, as well as the income intelligence for the UK, we also have the deprivation index. So the darker red an area is, the more deprived it is, and the greener, the more affluent it might be. So this is very useful if you have a gym and you are reaching out to local organisations such as schools. You might have a better understanding of what their budget is likely to be, as well as understanding the target audience in a given area. So if you're surrounded by green, you know that the area is very affluent and you're able to charge more of a premium. Whereas if you're surrounded by quite a deprived area, the opposite is applicable. So another feature that I'd like to introduce that we have launched today is our Alphane AI agent. Up in the top right corner, you can open Alphane and you can ask it anything to do with climbing gyms, local demographics, or understanding the market. So I've opened Alphane. We're over the Haarlem area of the Netherlands. And if I ask Alphane about the Haarlem area, Alphane is plugged into every layer and every database that we have incorporated into the map. It will go through all of that information and process it and give me a very comprehensive answer to pretty much anything that I ask it. So it's come back to me. It understands the market. It understands how dense it is. It's highlighted the fact that there's a gym barely 150 meters apart from each other. It tells me entry price comparisons and facility comparisons. It then goes through the demographic layers, the income intelligence layers. It understands the youth and overall population density. It also understands the surrounding geographies as well. So it understands that Amsterdam is nearby for other competing gyms. And it also starts to analyze areas of opportunity. I've been very strict with developing the Alphane agent, it does not hallucinate to the best of my knowledge. It only and very strictly keeps to the confines of what it knows and very publicly available information for the area. So by pulling in all of the data it has available and not making stuff up on the fly, it's a reasonably trustworthy source of information to bounce ideas off of within a given area. So now I've asked Alphane to recommend a location within the Haarlem area, and we'll see what it comes back with. And it's honest with me up front. So Haarlem is a dense gym area, and it probably wouldn't recommend something very central. It's identified an area within the southern arc of the city, and it also understands the Gerber side of things, which, if it's a less urban area, people are more willing to drive, and so a car park is necessary, which sets a certain gym apart from others. It also looks a bit further out if you're interested in a non-central environment. So if your business plan isn't quite working for the area, it looks further afield, which then might inspire you to look elsewhere. In a very gym dense area like London, I can ask it to give me an analysis of the city to see if there's any areas of opportunity. Now, London's a very gym dense area. There's at least 30 sites within the M25, and it's very bouldering heavy. It states the obvious very early on. It's the most gym saturated area in Europe. It then goes through the demographics, the income intelligence, and then it gets into the meat of it. So there's an obvious fact that there's a full service rope gym missing in London. If there's something that can offer everyone everything, then it may be onto a winner, and geographically it gives you a few options to play with. It understands the competitive environment, so the LCC sites, obviously there's 8 across London, and several other chains have cropped up and consolidated over the past couple of years, and it starts to pick out those white spaces which could be exploited by a very keen property developer. So why have I done this? The product as a whole replaces hours, days, if not weeks of consultant back and forth if you're interested in establishing a new site within any given market. This replaces hundreds or thousands of euros worth of back and forth, and it gives you information within seconds instead of waiting days and weeks again for this back and forth that you may not actually end up anywhere. So if you can get all the information that you need in a very short space of time for quite a competitive price, then surely this is a no-brainer. Looking into the future, what I'd like to develop for this product is to expand the market. So as I'm increasingly adding more detail to the gyms that are currently mapped, I'm working on building the income intelligence and demographic layers for 4 new territories. Those are the USA, Canada, New Zealand, and Australia. Although the gyms won't be available in those territories, the underlying information will be. So if you click on anywhere within those territories, again for the location analysis, all that information will be there, but there won't be any gyms to feed into the Alphane AI agent or just to make your own judgment on. That is a longer term goal. I hope to implement that within the next few months as I'm working through these gyms, and everything that I'm doing will make the Alphane AI agent stronger and more capable, and I look forward to seeing how it goes from there. If you're interested in subscribing to ECN Pro, the price is £79 a month or $7.99 for an annual subscription. And then bearing in mind, this takes out hundreds or thousands of euros worth of consulting cost, so it is a bargain. If you would like more information, please don't hesitate to contact me on callum@euroclimbing.news. And if you would like a more thorough one-on-one product demo, I'd be more than happy to oblige. Please just get in touch. I'd like to thank you for joining me today on exploring the ECN Pro and the site intelligence platform and the new Alphane agent, which is just released today. Thank you for your time, everyone, and I'll hopefully see you again soon.